Yeah, I mean, nowadays everybody is moving to a hybrid or multi-cloud environment, and it is not easy when you have deployments in various locations, various clouds, and that. So one of the key challenges that most of the companies face is to how to manage those workloads in different clouds, as well as on-prem versus cloud, right? So there is hybrid deployments, and then there are multi-cloud deployments. In multi-cloud deployments, what happens is like when the what do you call the workloads are in multiple places, when there is some kind of attack happens, you have to look at all the workloads in different clouds and other things to find out where exactly it happened or anything like that. So its manageability is a very big problem, and observability. So you have to have multiple staff to look at all these workloads in multiple environments. So obviously it is creating a problem, both observability wise, security wise, cost effectiveness. All these things are adding to the problem of the multi-cloud. So that's why people are going towards, I would say more of a single cloud. But at the same time, in single cloud, then you are stuck to a particular cloud, and if there are any issues in that particular environment, then your whole organization comes down. So it is unavoidable to be on multi-cloud, but at the same time, how do you protect all your multi-cloud environments is where we come into picture. We provide you a single pane of glass to understand what is going on and observe the different workloads and be able to protect them against attacks and mitigate those attacks ahead of any vulnerabilities and other things happening in this cloud. So we have a complete end-to-end CNAPP platform, which what the CNAPP is like as a cloud native application protection platform. According to Gartner, most companies are now deploying a CNAPP platform for providing a single pane of glass for all their static security needs as well as production security needs. So what we mean by build to runtime is that we not only protect your the known vulnerabilities which are on the static side of things, like your cloud deployments or cloud security posture management, CSPM, which is basically your workloads running on the cloud, and to understand some of the the misconfigurations happening on your cloud workloads and protecting against those and avoid any kind of drift and also compliance issues and that kind of thing is what we provide on the CSPM side of things. On the workload, the runtime part of it, what we provide is called we built it based on KubeCon. KubeCon is one of our key runtime security tools that AccuKnox is based on. Basically, we built KubeCon in 2020 and donated it to CNCF, and it is one of the largest or the fastest downloaded or growing runtime security protection tools in the CNCF ecosystem. So how do we differentiate with KubeCon? KubeCon is one of the only tools which provides inline mitigation. What do we mean by inline mitigation? Is basically there are a lot of known vulnerabilities and there are a lot of unknown vulnerabilities. The main thing about zero trust, which is what our core is, like we provide zero trust based on protecting you against unknown vulnerabilities and mitigate those things, risks and any of those vulnerabilities from happening before it actually attacks your the workloads. So that is our key differentiation, and we have built this engine based on eBPF, which is extended Berkeley packet filters, and the eBPF has been there for a long time. eBPF has been there for use for observability for a long time, but what we have done is use eBPF and LSM modules, Linux security modules, and combine those to provide you a critical view of all your workloads, which are all the way to the Linux security module levels and Linux security, Linux runtime levels, and then provide you a inline. So we built a runtime security platform called KubeCon, right? I told you about that. And the primary focus has been to block events and attacks provided by doing inline mitigation, right? So it is basically built on, I think I already mentioned about it. Like we built on eBPF and SA Linux and AppArmor and so on and so forth. We are the first ones to combine these very known tools and make them together to provide you inline mitigation versus post-attack mitigation. So in a Kubernetes cluster or environment, an attack can happen, and there are multiple ways for the attacker to penetrate your the network. And what we provide is like how any of those attacks can be avoided by using KubeArmor and some of the enhancements that we have done based on our enterprise platform to protect against policy, to create policy-based engines to protect against any of those attacks. So the 5G, so you were talking about Open Horizon, okay? Open Horizon basically, what Open Horizon has done is basically for any of the edge environments, right? It's Open Horizon is used for edge deployments. What Open Horizon is using is KubeArmor to protect against any kind of attacks or mitigation, any kind of attacks or vulnerabilities which are happening on the edge. So now KubeArmor is part of the Open Horizon project, and it is deployed automatically when you deploy an Open Horizon platform. So 5G control plane has undergone a massive change. Like basically what KubeArmor provides is something which, like I mentioned, it's inline mitigation and protection against runtime workloads. What we have done is extended that to manage the 5G control planes. So any of the 5G control planes nowadays are built based on microservices and Kubernetes and containers. So what we have done is extended this to help protect some of the 5G control planes. And what traditionally has been like firewall security is what has been used in 5G security. But now, since the advent of microservices and Kubernetes, it is imperative that they need to have protection against those aspects. And what KubeArmor helps is to provide those protections. So we have, like I mentioned earlier, we have a complete end-to-end security platform. AccuKnox CNAPP platform provides security from code to runtime, code to production. So what we have done is, basically from remediation perspective, we have real differentiation. Basically what we do is it can only provide prioritization of risk, not only provide prioritization of risk, but also a possible solution and auto response for virtual patches and policies and that kind of thing in the environment. So it's helps you to reduce your noise for your developers by almost 90%, by providing them a clear view of what is the highest priority and how to focus on those rather than hundreds of thousands of vulnerabilities that you see in your protection. So this is not only providing policy-based protection, policy-based patch, but also providing you how to avoid those and how to prioritize on the ones which are more critical than others.